I had several goals when I started the design of Duality. I knew I wanted a free-flowing piece that would be based on natural shapes of growing plants as they emerged from the ground. Within, there needed to be something unnatural, distinctly man-made, a representation that would contrast with the smoothness of the emerging curve. At the same time, there should be a sense that both parts have common roots. Making both parts from wood helps establish that connection. To give the machinery a purpose, I designed it to mark time. It is a reminder of the transitory nature of our existence, something not to be taken for granted. Another goal of the project was to create visual interest on different scales. When seen from a distance, the form should draw the eye and present a pleasing outline. From a few feet away, the motion of the works becomes the focus, and when beside it, the detailing of the individual parts, the shadow lines, engraving, the edges all become visible. One of the things I found most pleasing is the sound of the works. It makes a soft ticking, not metallic, that's nice to listen to but doesn't intrude. In some way it's a comfort, and when I've lent out the piece I'm always surprised that there's a feeling that something is missing, that a living presence is now absent from the house. Everyone loves the gears. It makes for a very three-dimensional look, with increasing complexity as your eye moves down the piece towards the center. In this, the artist proofs, Duality's gears are made from quarter-sawn maple, which gives a nice fine grain, and, important in a mechanism, dimensional stability. Sometimes, the art is in the material. This carved winding knob stands out because of the play of the grain across the shape. Looking down into the middle, you can see how many pieces have come together to make it all work. Here's the frame which holds the gears, mated to the stand. Some of the edge treatments are showing as well. The wheels and pinions are all made from solid maple. From a mechanical standpoint, it's more difficult, but gives a better appearance than using a multi-layered wood. Also, you can see the edges are not lacquered. It's necessary for mechanical operation, and the wood grain is running through each of the parts. This is a wonderfully detailed view from the front, showing tropical hardwood for the accents, the tight grain of the maple wheels, and the flecks of color in the quarter-sawn sycamore. Every wheel and pinion is unique and carefully shaped to mate perfectly together. They are all edged with a small relief, creating a shadow line accentuating the shape. Every face is sanded by hand to bring the surface to the correct polish for good operation. It's a long process, but worth it for the result. Here you can see the teeth again, and behind them the cherry frame. One of my favorite details is the egg-shaped post cap, carved and sanded into shape from African mahogany. The sculpture is driven completely by gravity acting on a weight. This is the top of the weight. Where you see the lifting handle, the edges are sculpted to round into the cap. The weight plug is dome-shaped to break up the contours of the cap. These are made from figured maple. I'm fond of this style of joint, and here's an example of the cherry leg joined to a sycamore plate with a cherry dowel. The cherry and sycamore are complementary to each other, and the peg provides a great contrast. There isn't a straight line anywhere in the stand. I think this sculpture is successful because it engages you on many different levels. It appeals to sight, sound, and touch. If you want to see more, stop by the website.